Welcome to the video. In this lecture, I'll guide you through the theory, some coding prompts and structures, practice problems, and teach you how to solve those problems in Python. If you are a complete beginner in Python or data analysis, you can practice coding without downloading any software at online-python.com, and so this lecture will be perfect for you. Stay till the end because if you are serious, you will start writing some basic codes related to today's topic within 10 minutes, even as a complete beginner, and that's a promise.
Conditional operators in Python are used to make decisions based on certain conditions. They allow you to control the flow of your program by executing different blocks of code depending on whether conditions are true or false. In Python, the most common conditional statements are if, else, and elif statements. The if statement is used to execute a block of code if a certain condition is true. The else statement is used to execute a block of code if the if condition is false. The elif statement, which is the short for else if, allows you to check for multiple conditions. If the condition exceeding an elif statement is false, it checks the next condition. Here's the basic syntax. We first write if condition, and then there is a code block to execute if condition 1 is true. It follows elif condition 2, in which there is a code block to execute if condition 2 is true. Else, there is a code block to execute if none of the above conditions are true. The if statement here evaluates a condition. If the condition is true, the code block under it is executed. If the condition is false, the code block is skipped. The elif statement allows you to check additional conditions if the preceding if or elif conditions are false. You have multiple elif statements in a block. The else statement is optional and executes if none of the preceding conditions are true. Here is an example to illustrate the use of if, elif, and else statement in Python. In the provided code snippet, the variable x is assigned the value of 10. The if, elif, and else statement evaluate the value of x. If x is greater than 10, it prints x is greater than 10. If x is less than 10, it prints x is less than 10. Otherwise, if neither condition is met, it prints x is equal to 10. Since x is equal to 10, the last condition is fulfilled and x is equal to 10 is printed. Let's see in the Python interface the output of this code. Here the output is x equals to 10 because x is 10. So let us see another example of the basic if-else statement. Here we are saying that x equals to 10. Now we are going to tell the computer to do different things depending on whether x is greater than 5 or not. If x is indeed greater than 5, it will print x is greater than 5. Now this line here, else if x is not greater than 5, it will do what's inside the block, prints x is less than or equal to 5. So if x is 10, which is in this case, it is greater than 5. Therefore, when we run this code, it will print x is greater than 5 because the condition x is greater than 5 is true. If x were say 3, then it would print x is less than or equal to 5 because x is greater than 5, which would be false. It would go to the else part. Let us see the execution of this code in Python. So here it is printing x is greater than 5. Now let's see a second example in which there is a nested if-else statement. That means there is another if-else statement inside the if-else statement. Here age equals to 20 means we set the age of the person to the 20 years old. This line checks if the person is 18 years old or older. If they are, the program moves inside this if statement. If age is less than 21, inside the first if statement, we have another condition. This line checks if the person is older than or equal to 18 but younger than 21. If they are, it means they are adult but not yet allowed to drink. Print you are adult but not allowed to drink means if the person meets both conditions, in which the person is older than or equal to 18 but younger than 21, this line prints a message saying that they are an adult but not allowed to drink. Else, if the person is 21 or older, this line executes. If the person is 21 or older, this line prints a message saying that they are allowed to drink. The last line, else, if the person is not 18 years old or older, this line executes. This means if the person is younger than 18, this line prints a message that they are not yet adult. Let us see the execution of this command in Python. And the person's age is 20, which is greater or equal to 18, but less than 21. So it will print, you are an adult but not allowed to drink. So this is what it is printing over here. Let us see another example of the use of elif statement. Here the first line, grade equals to 75, means we set the grade of the student to 75. The second code checks if the grade is 90 or higher. If it is, the program prints, you got an A. Elif grade equals greater or equals to 80. If the grade is not 90 or higher, this line checks if the grade is 80 or higher. If it is, the program prints, you got an B. If the grade is not 80 or higher, this line checks if the grade is 70 or higher. If it is, the program prints, you got C. At last, if the grade doesn't meet any of the condition above, or it's lower than 70, this line executes. And if the grade is lower than 70, the program prints, you need to improve your grade. So to summarize, if the grade is 90 or higher, the students get an A. If the grade is between 80 and 89, the student gets B. If the grade is between 70 and 79, the students get C. And if the grade is lower than 70, the student needs to improve on their grade. Let us see in Python interface the output of this code. So here the grade is 75, which is greater than 70 but less than 80. Okay, so it is greater or equals to 70, so it should print you got C. So here it is printing you got C. Let us see another example where we are using the ternary conditional operator. Here the first and second line sets the variable of x and y variable to 10 and 20 respectively. The max underscore value is equal to x if x is greater than y, else y. This line uses a ternary conditional operator to determine the maximum value between x and y. If x is greater than y, then the value of max underscore value is set to x. Otherwise, if y is greater than or equal to x, the value of max underscore value is set to y. This print command, the maximum value is max value, prints the maximum value determined by the ternary conditional operator. So to summarize, the program compares the values of the variables x and y. If x is greater than y, then maximum value is x. Otherwise, if y is greater than or equal to x, the maximum value is y. The program then prints out the maximum value. Let us see the execution of the code in Python. So here, x is 10 and y is 20. Okay, so x is not greater than y, it is less than y, so it goes to else y. So maximum value becomes the value of the y. The value of the y is 20, so it prints the maximum value is, and then it prints the maximum value which is 20. Let us see another example using logical operators. Here, first of all, we set the value of the variable num to 15. Now this line checks if num is divisible by both 2 and 3. It checks if the remainder of the num divided by 2 and 0, and if the remainder of the num divided by 3 is 0. If both conditions are true, it prints that the number is divisible by both 2 and 3. Now this statement, if the remainder condition is not met, This line checks if number is divisible by either 2 or 3. It checks if the remainder of the number divided by 2 is 0 or if the remainder of the num divided by 3 is 0. If either of these conditions is true or both, it prints the number is divisible by either 2 or 3. Else, if none of the above conditions are met, it means the num is not divisible by either 2 or 3. Therefore, it executes this block of code. It prints the number is not divisible by either 2 or 3. In summary, if number is divisible by both 2 and 3, it prints that it is divisible by both. If num is not divisible by both 2 and 3, but it's divisible by either 2 or 3, it prints that it's divisible by either. And if num is not divisible by either 2 or 3, it prints that it's not divisible by either. Let us see in Python interface the output of this code. So here num value is 15. It is divisible by 3 but not by 2. This will not execute this code because to execute this code it should be divisible by both 2 and 3. It then goes to this statement. Here is OR. Either this condition must be true or this condition must be true. Okay, so here 15 is divisible by 3. So it prints the number is divisible by either 2 or 3. If this condition was not true, it would go to this code and it would print this statement. But here our condition is fulfilled over here. So it prints the number is divisible by either 2 or 3 in the output. Now let us see the example of checking for membership. The if then statement is also used to check for the membership. Here we have a list of fruit containing apple, banana, orange and grape. We set the value of the variable fruit to check to apple. This is the fruit we want to check if it's available in the fruit basket. If fruit to check in the fruits, this line checks if the value of the stored in fruit to check exists in the list fruits. If apple is in the list, it means it's available in the fruit basket. Printf fruit to check is available in the fruit basket. That means if apple is found in the list fruit, it prints apple is available in the fruit basket. Else, if the value stored in the fruit to check is not found in the list fruit, it executes this block of code. So in summary, the program checks if apple is available in the list of fruits. If apple is in the list, it prints a message saying it's available in the fruit basket. And if apple is not in the list, it prints a message saying that it is not available in the fruit basket. Let us see in the Python interface the output of this code. So here in the fruit list, we have apple. So the fruit to check is apple. If fruit to check in fruits means apple is already in the fruit, so it should print apple or fruit to check here is available in the fruit basket. So it prints apple is available in the fruit basket. If it was not available, it would have printed apple is not available in the fruit basket. So it's simple. Okay, let us see another example using comparison operators with strings. Here we set the value of the variable name to Anita. If name is Anita, the double equals to means both left and right side value must be the same. It checks if the value stored in the variable name is equal to Anita. Print hello Anita. If the value stored in name is Anita, it prints hello Anita. Or else if the value stored in the variable name is not equal to Anita, it executes this block of code. So in summary, the program checks if the value stored in the variable name is Anita. If the value is Anita, it prints a greeting message specifically for Anita. If the value is not Anita, it prints a message indicating that the person is not Anita. Let us see in the Python interface the output of this code. Here the name is Anita. So if name is Anita, it should print hello Anita. So name is Anita, so it prints hello Anita. So hello Anita is printed. Let us see another example of the use of if-then statement. This time we are taking a healthcare example. Here, patient systole and patient diastole are variables representing the systolic and diastolic blood pressure readings of the patient respectively. The if, elif, and else statement are used to check the blood pressure reading against predefined threshold and provide appropriate recommendation. If either the systolic pressure is greater than or equal to 140 mmHg or diastolic pressure is greater than or equal to 90 mmHg, the program prints a message indicating that blood pressure is too high and advises the patient to consult a doctor immediately. If both the systolic pressure is less than 90 mmHg and the diastolic pressure is less than 60 mmHg, the program prints a message indicating that blood pressure is too low and advises the patient to consult the doctor. If none of the above conditions are met, the program prints a message indicating that the blood pressure is within the normal range and advises the patient to keep monitoring it regularly. So let us see in the Python interface the output of this code. Here we have patient's blood pressure reading. Now this block of code is checking blood pressure and providing recommendation. So here the systolic blood pressure is 130 and patient's diastolic blood pressure is 85. This is not greater or equal to 140. So this code is not executed. It comes to this code. It is not less than 90 also. It is 130. Okay. So this code is also not executed. It moves to this part. So it will print your blood pressure is within normal range. Keep monitoring it regularly. So the output is your blood pressure is within normal range. Keep monitoring it regularly.